covering Shane Beamer and covering Bill Belichick. You are completely on the opposite ends of the spectrum, aren't you, with head coaches right now?
So right now what I'm doing is, and it's weird because I haven't gone through this in quite some time, because even when I moved from Watch Fox, and I know you've done things that were similar when you left ABC, went to radio, it's like I didn't feel like I was really leaving, right? I left jobs, went to a different job, and I went to Gamecock Central, but I was around the same people all the time. I was around the same reporters. Here, it's not because it's the NFL, covered the Panthers, but here I'm sitting back the first week or two as far as asking questions. I want to earn the respect, more so of the writers, because I know a lot of TV people, when it comes to writers, it's like, TV people can be divas, and you get it from being on both sides of it. So I think with working with Gamecock Central, I was able to see like, all right, it's a little bit different, but I want to come up here, earn their respect. So I personally, I'm just bringing that up. I know that wasn't the direct question. I personally have not asked Bill a question yet.
Which is smart. I endorse that approach, sir.
Yeah, I'm just, and anyone that tells you, they can tell you that I probably talk too much. I'm doing the complete opposite of who I am. I'm shutting the hell up and I'm listening for the first 2 weeks, just to earn the respect of the other beat reporters. But it's different. And I was saying this on the forum the other day. I think growing up in Massachusetts, one thing that has helped me, and look, we're all guilty of it. It's going to happen at some point in your career. You're going to ask a question. Maybe it just doesn't come out the right way that you were thinking of it. It might come out as a dumb question. It happens. But I think listening to Belichick as much as I have growing up, I've always kind of took the approach of, okay, if I ask a coach a question, let's do everything we can. Like I envisioned like that coach being Belichick. That's kind of how I've always done. Now, granted, Frank Martin or even Muschamp, Beamer, okay, you're going to have a little bit more fun occasionally than you would probably with Bill. But I always kind of took that approach that I'm asking Bill a question in hopes of not screwing up, like being able to be crafty in the way you word things. You might speak a little bit longer with your question because you're really trying to be direct, because if you leave any open-ended responses from them, it can just be as simple as yes or no. So I always took that approach. Well, let's see if that's worked, because now I'm actually going to be asking Bill directly those questions. So it's a little bit different. But I mean, it was funny to see Bill the other day. There was a little interaction. I don't know if anyone saw it down in South Carolina or heard it. They're asking a question about the offensive coordinators, because right now they haven't named one. And I know that as weird as that sounds, the Patriots in 2005, they didn't have an offensive coordinator. So I bring that up because there was a question being asked, and Bill's like, well, we don't have time to, really dig deep and, all that. And he's like, it's very complicated. So then the reporter responded, he's like, well, you kind of answered the question. He said, it's complicated, it's a process. And he's like, well, I'm just trying to do whatever I can to help you out. Just like the little smirk on. So, yeah, it's much different. And I'll say this, the difference between college and pros, it's very businesslike in the NFL. I know you've been around NFL teams, Tim. It's just different. But especially with the Patriots, it goes back to very Muschamp which is Muschamp tried to set the tone in how he talked in front of the media. Because when you were away from the cameras, Muschamp was a funny guy. I always enjoyed my time with Will. But when he's in front of the camera, just like Bill, just like these players, he's setting the tone because that's how he wants his players to respond to the media. He wants his players to kind of be very,
buttoned up, right?
Buttoned up, have the walls up, not really put out too much information. And it's just different. So I knew what I was getting myself into, but just seeing it up close now, certainly from coming down from coming up from South Carolina and being around Beamer, where it seems like it's kumbaya and everyone's holding hands, having a great time, as well as covering Clemson with Dabo. It's just night and day.